When you get the new one, I let it go.
Well, you'll write it off.
Well, my company's gonna buy me one for my order, so I just kind of played it. I don't have one.
The big thing with this is I did when I got a smartphone, is it didn't give me that extra edge to get that last bit of work done. It just created more capacity to work.
Call this special meeting to order. All rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call of council.
Sean Walker, Josh Putnam,
Here.
James McMahon,
Here.
John Jones,
Here.
Leanne Geyer,
Present.
Gary Holsey,
Present.
and Tiger.
Move to excuse Trent Walker and Clint Steger.
Second. We moved to second to excuse Clint and Fran. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Thank you. Agenda item, resolution number 12-1207, authorizing the surplus of a Glock 40 caliber pistol, serial number DAU 934, used by the Civic Police Department. It says John on there. Are you going to be speaking about that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Would you like to come up?
Sure.
Have a seat.
I'm sure you all have the resolution before you. And with that should be an attachment of a letter from the individual that works on our firearms. He services our firearms. He does it once a year. He did it the last time about 3 weeks ago. He is a licensed dealer. And so we deal with him almost exclusively regarding the repairs of our firearms. Now, as you know, the reason for this resolution is because Sergeant Jim Pickett is retiring at the end of this month. In fact, tomorrow will be his last day. And, you know, this is how I feel about it. And, you know, when an officer gets killed, you know, he gets all the honors, he gets all the recognition, and you know, in this particular case, we want to honor Jim Pickett. You know, he served this city faithfully and diligently. He's been a reserve officer for the first 5 years of his career, where he worked for the city for free, without pay. He put on his uniform, he put on his badge, and he strapped on his gun belt, and he was out there serving the citizens of this city 5 years without pay. And this started in 1987 when he was hired as a reserve police officer for the city. And in 1992 he was hired full-time as a full-time officer. And he's been with us ever since then. That's an additional 20 years. Now, I don't think there's ever been an officer in this city that served for 20 or 25 years in the history of this city, and I think it's quite an accomplishment. He served under various titles. Presently, he's a sergeant. He's worked more than once as a detective for the city. He's been involved in some very high-profile cases for the city, with the city, and I think he's represented the city and the police department honorably. The reason for this resolution is to show appreciation and to give him the recognition which we feel he deserves. Being a living legend of Pacific, we want to present him with that firearm that he's been issued, that he presently carries, and that he has for the last 15 years or so. That firearm's been issued to him. It's not going to be a freebie. The city's not just turning over this firearm to him. The police officers that are part of the police department, we've donated money. We've got a fair value of what the firearm is worth according to our firearms dealer, our repair person. He gave us the value of that pistol, and the officers have gotten together, and we've taken up a collection so that we can buy that firearm from the city, and so we'll be giving that money back to the city if this resolution is approved, where we can present this to him tomorrow, his last day. And I really hope that you support us. This might be the last time that we may be able to do this, and for somebody that we have a lot of admiration and respect for, and that the community does also. I went through his personnel file today, and I found numerous accommodations that were given to him by his supervisors, by outside agencies, and I found numerous letters of appreciation and thank you cards from the citizens of the city over the years that he served us. And all I can say is what a guy, and what better way to send him off than to present him with the firearm that he's used all these years. It's a common practice. Other agencies have done it before. We've never done it before, and if we were to ever do something like this, this is the time, this is the moment, this is the person that we would like to do it with. Of course, I would love to have my firearm issued to me, but if we were ever to do it, this is the time, and this is the person we want to do it with and for. Yes.
I move to approve resolution number 12-1207.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that resolution number 12-1207 be approved. Speak on it, Councilman.
This is appropriate. Jim Pickett has served the city honorably, faithfully, and exemplary for the past 25 years. And it's appropriate that we let him and his faithful partner stand by his side for several years, retire together.
Myself, this is probably a good time to speak about it, since the official meeting is the last one that he'll be involved in, or related while he's a member of the service. He and my family in 92, 93, when he just, like you said, he had become an active officer, dealt with attempt to attack on my wife in the evening when she came home and worked about midnight. The gentleman that they believe attempted to attack her was involved in an arson in the trailer park along the river. And as she was coming home after work close to midnight, saw her, took an opportune time to try to attack her. Luckily, she got inside the house at the time. We called the officers, and Officer Pickett was one of the ones who did the investigation on that incident. And then a few years later, when a neighbor across the street started dealing narcotics and having to deal with the ongoings of drug dealing and everything from prostitutes and everything else coming to his house, and trying to deal with the consequences of that, and trying to get people's assistance was Officer Pickett that stepped up and helped us try to put a squash on that. So it was I've been here for 19 years, and so we had a couple incidents where he stepped up for me in the community and the neighborhood. So does anybody else have a input?
I'm sure we can all go on and on about Officer Pickett or Sergeant Pickett.
Is there any comment from the citizens? Gary?
Gary, I want to stand up and say I support the resolution.
Any other comments? Hearing none, it has been moved and second resolution number 12-1207 authorizing the surplus of a Glock 40 caliber pistol serial number DAU 934 used by the Civic Police Department. Roll call of council.
Putnam,
Aye.
James McNeil,
Aye.
John Jones,
Aye.
Leanne Geyer, Gary Holden.
Aye.
It has been passed. Seeing no other items on the agenda?
There is no other items. I just did want to mention,
Yeah,
sorry, John,
that's
that, when Ty called to tell me that he was not going to be at the meeting, that he was in favor of this resolution as well. Thank you.
We have a meeting on Thursday.
Thursday at 6:30.
There are no other items for this council. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I'll be happy to public safety committee.
Thanks, keep it short and sweet.